Hi, without further waiting, let's jump into the test drive of all new 2026 Tesla Model Y. Let's watch it. So we have arrived to Tesla store in Trondheim, and this is the new Model Y, which I will be testing right now. And right after testing the new Model Y, I will compare it to the old Model Y. So very excited and looking forward to drive now. So, this is the first clip I did right before the Tesla store opened yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was the first guy to test drive the all new Tesla Model Y. The video what you will see was recorded with the sound device being a Bluetooth headset, so you will hear everything very clearly, but the volume and the sound may be sometimes a little bit weird. So let's jump into the video, and I will be leaving some comments during the video.
Okay, so I'm about to test drive a new Tesla Model Y. It's a little bit hot over here, so the first thing I would like to try right away. This is a function which will allow the airflow to be moved around the car. This is a new feature.
And this feature is called sweep.
And let me little bit increase the airflow and let's get started. Let's navigate somewhere, and I have only half an hour for test drive, and I hope it will be so cool. And this is a dual motor Tesla Model Y. It runs on 19 inches winter wheels, and I have to remember stuff. Where is the navigation?
So basically what I wanted to do is just to bring the navigation up, and this took me a while.
Navigation. Okay. I will navigate to the same place and I will just move around.
So the test drive took place in Norway, and unfortunately I had only half an hour for the test drive.
So there is no more gear stock. The seating position is okay so far. I see that auto hold is activated. And the first couple of meters, there is, however, indicator stock. Before I actually drive, let me see what are the settings for the steering. Control, steering, no, and it's okay. I would like to check.
So I'm a fan of heavy steering set point, and that's exactly the one I chose for the test drive. I set the steering to the heaviest option.
Dynamic, acceleration standard, bremsing standard, this braking, anti-spin.
And the Tesla has implemented a new brake-by-wire into the all-new Tesla Model Y. However, I was not really able to pull this braking pedal at the full capacity because I was driving half an hour, and basically I touched the brake pedal once, and it just felt like a braking pedal. Okay, so but once you let go the acceleration pedal, once you are in auto hold, the car will actually start to slow down gradually and then stop and hold the car in the stop position, so you don't eventually use the brake pedal at all. So I was not able to really distinguish whether the braking was significantly different from the braking feel of the pedal on old Model Y.
Steering, now it's light. Let me try heavy steering. Yes, okay, and going back to navigation. Okay, I will let the car behind me pass. So the interior in this new Model Y is really premium, and it looks like for the first time a dual motor trim actually has a premium interior included, where else the models like long range and longer range, oh, apologize, it looks like the models of a single motor, meaning rear wheel drive, and rear wheel drive long range with a single motor, they have interior with different materials. And only the dual motor, which I'm driving right now, has actually this interior, and this looks like really awesome. Yes, and let me bring this to the screen. So I am on a Tesla.com compare models section, and you can see Model Y and new Model Y. And when you scroll down to interior, here it is. And in a new Model Y, which is on the right section of the screen, it says at the very bottom, aluminum detailing and premium textiles, wraparound ambient lighting, footwell and door pocket ambient lighting. Yeah, but also, hold on. Okay, let's go back to the video anyway. So if I go back to the video, I will also have to tell you that this will be side-by-side comparison to the old Model Y in the video. So I will be driving the new Model Y for half an hour, and then right after I will jump again into the old new Model Y, and there was a difference. So let's watch the video. Looking in my previous video on this interior when the car was in the Tesla store, inside the Tesla store. However, when the car is outside and you have a much more better natural lighting, the interior looks even better. Oh, this steering is really heavy. It's like really heavy. Cool. I like it. By the way, the steering ratio has been changed. It used to be 11:1 in the older Model Y, and now the steering ratio is 12.5:1. It is like 10% less, 10% easier. No, not as sharp. Okay, yeah, I think that's 10% not as sharp. It's still sharp, but just not as it used to be on older Model Y. And Tesla did it on purpose, since the car is more like a family-oriented vehicle, and the suspension has been changed. So far, the road is smooth, so the car rides smooth. And after testing this car, we will actually go and test the legacy, the older Tesla Model Y, and it will be really cool to compare. Okay, I have standard acceleration, and I have opted for heavy steering, but it's still very sharp. It's still very sharp, very informative. Oh, it's just nice to have. Okay, what about this function of moving the airflow? I think it works well. As you can see on the screen, I have all the indications where the airflow is actually going right now. Okay. On roundabout, of course, it's so cool to have a turn indicator. Oh, and it works nice. So you see, I only indicated once, and it stays there. Now I'm going to turn right. Oh, it's fine. So the turn indicator does not require any sort of adaptation. It's just perfect. Ты не пристегнул ремень, а? Ты пристегнутый? So just a short conversation with my
friend operator who helped me to film the video. The sound comes from the indicator that the seatbelt has not been fastened, but it's because he leaned over onto the front passenger seat, and it was this sound coming coming out. So, short comment from me at this point of the review. It was really difficult to distinguish where the steering has changed and how and the way it changed. The new Model Y, the old Model Y had a great steering, and you always had the chill standard, light standard and heavy. Set point here, the set points are the same, light standard and heavy. I tried the heavy on the old Model Y and on the new Model Y, and they felt really similar, not exactly the same, but really similar, according to the information what I already mentioned in the video, and that comes from Lars Moravi, the chief engineer from Tesla. The steering ratio indeed changed. In old Model Y it was 11:1, and on a new, Lars told it was 12.5 to 1, meaning it was not supposed to change the angle of the wheels as rapid as it was on older Model Y. Maybe it did, but the difference is only like 10%, so very difficult to find out. But nevertheless, the steering was great. The steering wheel did change. On the older Model Y, it was more like a rounded, the outer ring, versus on a new Model Y, it was a little bit like squeezed and more like a flat profile, but still very comfortable. And interior, as I mentioned, really changed. And here I want to bring up this what I found on a Tesla website. So it's at least on a Tesla Norway website. If you go to configurator of Tesla and then you scroll down, you can see here compare models, and here you can see only new Tesla Model Y. You go here and then you can again see only the new Model Y, and you can see the range, delivery, estimated delivery. Okay, the speakers for the long range, starting from the left, you see 9 speakers. From the long range rear wheel drive, 9 speakers. Sorry, for the rear wheel drive, 9 speakers. Long range rear wheel drive, 9 speakers. For the long range 4-wheel drive, you will get 15 speakers and 1 subwoofer, and then wheels, and then interior. Okay, here. So for the single motor, both variants, you have just door cards wrapped in a textile, but for the long range, it says first class premium materials for the black interior, and the car on test drive was in black interior. They say nothing about white interior, but interior indeed felt super premium. And later on, I was same day yesterday. Later on, after test driving 2 Teslas, I went to check the Xpeng G6 and the G9, and the G6, which is a head-to-head competitor. First of all, has a really weird alignment of the stuff in the interior, specifically the elbow support for the driver and the central, not the central, but this divider between driver and passenger. But they use hard plastic right in front of your eyes, in front of your place where on the central console you have the air flow regulators. It's just so weird. But in the all new Tesla Model Y, interior is truly as described by Tesla, first class. Okay, let's go back to my test drive.
Ah. turn indicator, once you indicate a turn, it doesn't go up and stay. It's just like you press up and then it goes back to original position in the middle. If I'm not mistaken, Tesla has also upgraded the screen. We don't know what exactly upgrades have been made to the screen, but they said that it was upgraded. The steering gear, the steering wheel itself is upgraded. It's a same steering wheel like on Tesla Model 3, and it has a flat cutout here at the bottom. It's thick enough, and it's really comfortable. It has a heating, of course, and the front seats have ventilation right now. Let me try to indicate this. Okay. Driver seat, ventilation maximum, and as you can see, the interior has now ambient lighting. Okay, I am exceeding a little bit. So the ambient lighting in the interior did feel such like a good addition, and it did not reflect actually at the front windshield and then back into my eyes. I did not find that to be obstructing or destructive, ruining the drive. The sound isolation in all new Model Y is definitely better, noticeably better than in old Model Y, especially when driving through the tunnel. This is not something you can hear on my test drive because of the noise cancelling headset which I used for the recording of the audio for that video. But overall, the driving impression is very familiar to the old Model Y. It's not a completely new car because the size is the same, the wheelbase is the same, but the comfort increased by bringing some nice features. The steering wheel is different. The stock is so nice, but also I think that removing the stock on the right and also removing the functions of those old multifunctional stocks actually did contribute to the overall better impression from the driving, because what I only need to do when I drive is to indicate with the stock. All the rest has been brought to the steering wheel. The wiper is just now a button on the wheel. The high beam lights is just a button on the wheel, and I can also bring a camera quickly just by pressing on the wheel again. But changing the gears has been transferred to the screen. It's very simple. We just swipe up and swipe down, and for that you don't need to remember whether it's like an old Model Y on the right stock, whether it's up or down. You just swipe on the screen, and it was brilliant. Okay, let's go back to the video. Oh, now I can feel the cool seats. Oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. Okay. What else can I say about this car? That we have camera views from the back. Now we also have a front view camera with the washer. The button for the washer is right on the screen. And the camera view is excellent. This car is supposed to have 15 speakers and one subwoofer, and this includes a newly designed speaker grill on the driver door and on the passenger door. They look awesome. Okay, what about the state of charge? Okay, the car is fully charged, 98%. because I'm the first one to test drive this car today in the morning. So they prepared the car, but interior really looks premium, without a joke. The cooling seats, they work really nice. I can feel it. I would say that it's pretty quiet in the car. It's like really quiet. And I'm talking quite without actually raising my voice. So what else has been upgraded in the car? Okay, let me check if I can. Okay. Now I need to follow the navigation and I will actually be on time to get the car back. (9:16). Alright, so I will just follow the navigation. So, as it was told in the recent interview of Tesla chief engineer Lars Moravi, then the quality of the microphones for the phone calls have been improved. Now they have a couple of microphones which work in conjunction, and they have like a triangulation principle of working, and they are able to find out where the driver is sitting and talking from which place, and they are in this way improving the quality of the phone calls. What else? Then the glass on the roof is now infused with particles of silver, and this reduces the amount of heat penetrating inside the cabin in the hot summer days. This is a huge improvement. There is also acoustic glass all around now inside the cabin. So it used to be the passenger, and I think it was also the back passengers, but now the rear glass is also an acoustic glass. Okay, now I am in a tunnel. Oh, it's very quiet. Of course, Tesla, unlike any other vehicle on the road, has a HEPA filter in all of the cars. This is something really underrated and nobody talks about, but this is actually so cool and so important to have a truly real huge HEPA filter in your car, which holds 99.9% of all the particles and odor and everything which can cause allergies. It holds outside, and it filters all that stuff, and the air you get in the cabin is as clean as it can practically be. This is a huge plus. Okay, the headlights. Now I'm in a tunnel, using the low beams, of course. I have found a contact of a Tesla marketing team in Norway. I have sent an email today with a request to be able to get an access to have a car for a longer time, maybe for the period overnight, in order to test the headlights in a proper way and just create more videos. The feature what I will have to try, because I completely forgot about that feature over those 30 minutes which I got for the test drive. I wanted to check this new feature of automatic trunk opening once you approach and stand for a couple of seconds with the car key right behind the trunk hedge, automatic trunk opening. But I will test drive it at the first opportunity. So let's go back to my test drive. And I have some oncoming traffic, so I cannot really switch to the high beams. In the 400 meters, I will have to turn right. Okay. Where is that? Fog lights from previous Tesla Model Y. Okay, now I can try high beams. In tunnel, it's maximum what I can tell you, but the high beams, I don't believe that will be any problem with high beams in Tesla Model Y. It looks like it's a single LED unit, which includes both the low beams and high beams. So, of course, by the way, the brake pedal is new. It's a brake-by-wire now with a hydraulic backup. I'm not using it now, so very difficult to say. But okay, there is no car behind me. Feels like a brake pedal. I mean, for user, it's important to have reliable brakes, and if this was really beneficial for Tesla, without sacrificing any safety, I'm absolutely okay to have brake-by-wire.
Alright, talking about high beams, this is the picture of main headlights on a new Tesla Model Y. The upper light, what you see, is just the daylight always on light, and the light below is you see enclosed in one housing, and there is no reflector inside except of the obviously some reflector right behind this combined headlight section, which includes the low beam lights and high beam lights. And I also have a short clip playing. Let me quickly find it. This is the short clip. As you can see, I blink with the main headlights, low beam and high beam, low beam and high beam, and turn indicators. And talking about turn indicators, what I like that once you indicate this side portion of the daylight light of the light bar does not actually turn off and become a turn indicator. So the side section still is a white daytime running light, and then once you indicate, the white daytime running light stays on, and then additionally you have a turn indicator, because on many modern EVs I see now, specifically like those Volkswagen ID4, you see the car is turning, and it also has sort of daytime running light bar, but when the car indicates turn, this side portion of the white light just turns off, and it becomes a turn indicator. It blinks orange, and then it again becomes a white daytime running right, which is weird. I really like the look of a Tesla Model Y daytime running lights, and I love that they kept daytime running lights on for the purpose of even for the purpose of turning right, left, or whatever, maybe the hazard lights. Okay, let's go back to my test drive.
The most important part, that the acceleration and the way the car drives, I mean the one pedal driving, has not changed. It's still the best in class, and it's the only standard that all cars supposed to do the same and copy, but nobody is actually able to do so as good as Tesla does. Accordingly, for example, if there is a 12-year-old kid and
Okay, the next feature I will be talking about is the radar that Tesla is using inside the cabin. So I hope you don't mind me scrolling back and forward over my video just to bring the key new features up to you. So let's listen to my video.
it's a much lighter unit, my favorite one. But overall, impression is cool. The car has been upgraded so much, and as you can see, the airflow is constantly moving from the unit, which includes both the low beams and high beams.
So now let me.
So of course, by the way, the brake pedal is new. It's sacrificing any safety. I'm absolutely okay to have brake by wire.
Okay, apologize for that, but
The most important part that the acceleration and the way the car drives, I mean the one pedal driving, has not changed. It's still the best in class.
yes, this part feels very familiar, very Tesla-like. No any adaptation needed. If you had a Tesla before, maybe you want to upgrade from a 4-year-old Tesla or from a 6-year-old Tesla Model S or X. The one pedal driving is still best in class in Tesla, and it is still as good as it used to be even on the all new Tesla Model Y.
And it's the only standard that all cars supposed to do the same and copy, but nobody is actually able to do so as good as Tesla does.
Now back to the feature what I announced about the in-cabin radar.
Okay. Now maybe we can test some sound system, but for this I need to stop and start typing copyright free
Sound system test
Spotify
will
singers.
be featured in the
I
video.
know my favorite one. But overall, impression is cool. The car has been upgraded so much, and as you can see, the airflow is constantly moving from right to left and back to
So
right to left.
I did enjoy this.
It actually makes total sense. Same like in your home in air conditioning, you have this function to move the air around from up and down. You can do the same now in a new Tesla Model Y, and I think this can be transferred to the legacy Model Y with a software upgrade. By the way, the Tesla Model Y also has a radar for identifying who is in the cabin, whether it's a human or animal, whether it's an adult human or a child human. And Tesla is able to use this information as for now for the passengers or maybe the animals occupants on the front seats, and this is used to adjust the safety systems such as airbags accordingly. For example, if there is a 12-year-old kid and it's a much lighter human being, a much shorter human being, Tesla can adjust the airbags to be activated in case of emergency, in case of collision, at a certain way, which is different to the way the airbag will be activated for me as an adult occupant. And in case the child has been left behind, Tesla is able to call the emergency service and also lower the windows to allow the airflow coming into the cabin. And Tesla will be soon able to use the same radar for the same type of adjustments and emergency scenarios for the passengers on the back seats.
So, and this feature is basically able to monitor the heart rate, and that's also the way it distinguishes whether it's a child or an adult human being.
Okay, I'm going to turn right in 1 kilometer.
I'll just scroll through my video and
indicating blind
unless there
spot,
is
nobody there.
more
Very
important
cool.
features to talk about, I will jump into the comparison and test drive of old Tesla
I think the
Model Y.
overall impression is that the car is really solid. It's just like a really solid, high tech, very reliable, very safe new Tesla Model Y. And by the way, there are new safety feature which is called the Tesla Active Hood, which has
I will bring now pictures on the screen.
Two actuators behind the bonnet, and those are like a pyrotechnic types of actuators, which in case of a frontal collision are able to push the hood upwards, this part where is the hinge of the hood. That is able to push the hood upwards and soften the landing of, for example, the vulnerable pedestrian, or maybe an animal, or maybe it will be a deer or other big animal hitting the bonnet. And those actuators, by lifting the hood upwards for 80 millimeters, that's 8 centimeters, they actually let the vulnerable pedestrian land on a much more flexible bonnet rather than just straight away hitting the hard glass.
Yes, and this is exactly the picture from Tesla Model Y. See, it's in this quicksilver color, and actuators, which are the part of Tesla Active Hood safety system. And I describe this a little better in the correspondent video from the Tesla Model 3. Let's jump into it quickly.
Comparison that I was talking about, the Tesla Model 3 Highland, this is
Alright, it is at the end of the video. Okay, here.
pyrotechnic actuators. These are the ones what I
So the reason I jumped, because after test driving the all new Tesla Model Y and then old Tesla Model Y, I remembered that I can still grab Tesla Model 3, which was outside, and that car was not booked for any test drive, so I just took it for 2 minutes to specifically film and talk in the video about this active hood Tesla system, which Tesla implemented at a certain regions where this becomes a mandatory requirement for the cars in the countries with a little bit stricter rules for the cars. This was implemented in last year Tesla Model 3, and this came into all new Tesla Model Y, but was not, at least in Norwegian market, meaning in European market, because cars for the European market are made in Tesla Berlin. This was not a part of a Tesla safety system on older Tesla Model Ys, but it came into all new Tesla Model Y and also on a Tesla Model 3 Highland. Let's watch.
was talking about. This is the one on one side, and the other one is there. These are the pyrotechnic actuators which lift this rear section of the bonnet up for around 80 millimeters, and the pedestrian is actually landing not on the glass but on the much softer bonnet.
Yes, and then let's go back to my final words about Tesla Model Y, all new Tesla Model Y test drive.
This has not been used on the older Model Y, but this was used on a newer Tesla Model 3 Highland, and now this feature is also available for this new Tesla Model Y 2026 model year. 200 meters.
So overall impression, as I said, new Model Y is really a solid car with a truly premium interior, with some interior features even not available for high-end Chinese cars with a much higher price tag, even for the German cars like BMW electric cars, iX, whatever. And this is specifically about a trunk door hatch, being on a new Tesla Model Y, all wrapped in fabric and also with a softer underlining. That's cool. And of course, the premium sound system on a Tesla Model Y, four-wheel drive with the 15 speakers and one subwoofer does add to the premium feel. It is as good as it was on Model Y before with the same amount of speakers. I think it was 13. Now they stepped up to 15. Okay, I will play the clip. However, because of my noise cancelling headset, it doesn't represent the entire feel of the sound, but my emotions, they do represent what you want to know about the sound system.
Oh, oh. Take a look. It's just much better interior than it used to be, and I just love it. So let's jump in the old Model Y and compare.
Too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just fake it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Wow.
You're not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door. I don't know if you
Wow, the sound system is just as good as it used to be in old Model Y, but maybe even better. The subwoofer here is just so punchy, so cool. So it's as much as I could fit in the video. Cool car, the really premium interior. This time, just take a look. It's just much better interior than it used to be, and I just love it. So let's jump in the old Model Y and compare. Thank you.
Alright, let's jump into the review of old Tesla Model Y, and here it is.
So, good afternoon again, and this is the second part of my test drive. I just drove an all-new Tesla Model Y, and after that I have driven the older legacy Model Y for a couple of kilometers, and there is a difference for sure. And what differs is the steering feel is different. On a new Model Y, the steering ratio is different. I was thinking that the steering will not be so sharp, but actually to me it feels that on a heavy steering setting, which I drove on all new Model Y, comparing to the heavy steering setting on the older Model Y, the new one actually feels to me a little bit sharper. And the steering wheel itself is different. So if you, first of all,
Alright, I will play it here. Oh,
to me a little bit sharper. And the steering wheel itself is different. So if you, first of all, I like Model Y for its easy ingress and exit. As comparing to Tesla Model 3, this is a higher vehicle, and just taking the seat is so easy.
So after this example, I will bring up the video from Model 3.
Once you lift your leg, it's just very easy to drop in yourself in the car, and also it's very easy to exit. From Model 3
And let me play the Model 3.
is the comparison that I was talking about. The Tesla Model 3, the Highland, this is, in my case, I'm 1 meter 77 centimeters. It's way more uncomfortable and not so easy and straightforward just to sit in and get out, since the vehicle is much lower. And then I have to actually bend myself and fit myself inside the door opening. Okay, then afterwards, the seating position itself is actually without any issues. It's very comfortable. I can sit and adjust the wheel and seat as much as I want. But then stepping out of the car is again, I have to bend, I have to put my head down and then actually force and kick out myself, and then again I have to bend and fall inside the car. And because let's bring these two videos side by side. Okay, here I am sitting on a Model 3 and Model Y. You sit, you sit really low to the ground, and then you actually need like to pull yourself upwards, unlike in Model Y. So the seating and access is much better on my opinion for me. In Model Y, I am 1 meter 77 centimeters, not as tall and not as short, just an average height. So the steering, as you can see on this. Right. What about Model 3? The vehicle is lower than Model Y. This to put. Okay, as you can see hit here, myself. I have to actually bend myself. Alright, this is a good shot. Ingress and exit, as comparing to Tesla Model 3, this is a higher vehicle, and just taking the seat is so easy. Once you lift your leg, it's just maybe a second leg. So you see in a Tesla Model Y, I just need to step into the cabin, just sit a little bit, and then I can easily ingress. And in Tesla Model 3, and fit my. I really have to bend to the side to put my butt on the seat and then avoid hitting the roof with my head and then jump inside the vehicle. Myself. So for someone choosing, this can be between Model 3 and Model Y. This can be maybe something to consider if you are a single person and your height is maybe below 1 meter 80, 1 meter 70. Maybe the Model 3 is a perfect car for you. And here in the video with Model 3, it's important to mention a safety feature. Let's play the clip. Inside the door opening. Okay, then afterwards, the seating position itself is actually without any issues. It's very comfortable. I can sit and adjust the wheel and seat as much as I want. But then stepping out of the car is again, I have to bend, I have to put my head down, and then actually force and kick out myself, and then again I have to bend and fall inside the car. And because the vehicle is lower than Model Y, this is the safety feature which Tesla came up with, which includes this extra new protruding piece of steel sticking out of the door frame, which goes inside the hole and it allows the door to be catched in three catch points: the latch, the hinge is number 2, and this new point of where the door is catched, and this improves the side crash safety. And as I mentioned in the video of yeah, okay, the last comment here about Model 3, this part what I mentioned about improved side crash safety does not mean that the Model Y, the old one, or the new Model Y has a less safety during the side crash. It's just the improvement which Tesla found
found a reason to make it, and the reason for this improvement was numerous data collected from all of the crashes, particularly in Model 3, where Tesla found an opportunity to make an improvement, and they did this improvement to side crash safety for a lower vehicle, which is the Tesla Model 3, where else on bigger and more importantly the higher off the ground vehicle like a Tesla Model Y, Tesla concluded that such change in the structure of the car was not needed. And okay, let's go back to comparison review and all new Model Y.
It's just very easy to drop in yourself in the car, and also it's very easy to exit. From Model 3, you sit really low to the ground, and then you actually need like to pull yourself upwards, unlike in Model Y. So the seating and access is much better on my opinion for me. In Model Y, I am 1 meter 77 centimeters, not as tall and not as short, just an average height. So the steering, as you can see on this older Model Y, is different.
The steering wheel.
I think the thickness is the same. However, this older wheel feels a little bit more rounded to me versus on a new Model Y. It was more like a flat profile and slightly deeper, but still very comfortable. And the stock on older one here is multifunctional. You have window wipers, turn indicators, and lights. On new Model Y, it was only the turn indicators, and the function of lights and window wipers was switched to the bottoms. I think both work really well, but the new model is very convenient.
As you can see the picture of the steering wheel of new Model Y, it's just one stock indicator only for turning, and then you have a high beams button, window washer, and I never tried this button. Still you have this joystick kind of like wheel, and this is a button for your cruise control and to bring the camera on the screen with a shortcut button. Here it is. Alright.
Much convenient as the older one. It's no problem. Indicate gear selector is still here on the old Model Y, versus on a new one you have to select gears on the screen. For me, selecting on the screen is absolutely fine. But having actually buttons on a more multifunctional wheel on a newer Model Y is actually much more convenient. For example, if I were to call a camera, now I need to reach a screen, but on a new Model Y I can call cameras right from the button here. So it's already much more convenient, and activating the cruise control on a new Model Y is also done just by a button on the wheel. Versus here, I need to let go the wheel and tap down the stock to activate an autopilot. So I would say the steering wheel is definitely an improvement. Then materials on the interior, these are like what has Tesla been doing for the past 4 years.
So this is the dashboard with ambient lighting on all new Tesla Model Y, and a door card is right here. You can see now in dual motor, at least what I have seen, this is the aluminium speaker grill, ambient lighting, and really nice, really high quality materials for the interior. And also the door card inside is wrapped in a carpet, so if you drop anything in a door card it will not dangle around.
And like for a friend of mine who is assisting me with this video, what he told me that he likes the wooden look more compared to the more premium look without a wooden trim.
So as you can see on the back door, also really nicely done interior with lots of this like a fake suit, fake Alcantara material with a textile, ambient lighting, and also the C pillar is wrapped completely, and also this upper portion is already the same material used for sealing, and also the safety belt which is now placed on the side right touching the C pillar to avoid blocking the folding seat when it actually falls.
On a new Model Y, and on my opinion, I liked the new Model Y better than this wooden trim. Apart of that, the new Model Y is activated in case you use a key card at the area of the phone charger. The old Model Y is activated here under the elbow support. Immediately after driving like 5 minutes on the highway, we both noticed with a friend of mine that new Model Y is noticeably quieter in the cabin. We were going in a tunnel, and it's not like about hearing the tire noise from our vehicle, but it's just being in a tunnel and feeling inside the cabin more quieter comparing to the same drive, same tunnel in older Model Y. So that new acoustic glass and also the insulated trunk for sure does make a difference, because in old Model Y, which is this one, even this trim inside the trunk area is all just a hard scratchy plastic. This is also hard scratchy plastic, and all this panel here and also here is just a scratchy plastic, versus on a new Model Y everything is wrapped in a soft fabric.
So, and these are the pictures of new Model Y. This is the side panel of the front, where there are new buttons for folding the seat, and as you can see just around the buttons and basically all over, now you have a textile fabric, and behind the textile you can feel that there is some sort of fine and dense and thin foam, which does give you a truly premium quality feel. And basically when you wrap plastic in something like a foam and textile, you avoid so much noise to be feeling and penetrating the cabin, so this makes the car quieter.
Both same like on the sides of the trunk, and this definitely contribute to a better sound isolation on new Tesla Model Y.
Also, this lower section of the trunk here, where the latch is also wrapped, completely wrapped in a carpet, the same carpet which goes on the sides. And also the upper section, as I just mentioned in the video, this upper section, the hatch itself, all the way around the lock is also wrapped in a carpet, and this section around the glass, around the rear window, everything. So this dark gray is a carpet. This section in the middle, light gray, is also a textile wrapped with some lining, like foam lining underneath, and this like in between the medium gray color going around the glass. All this is also wrapped with a textile with some foam lining underneath, so the entire hatch 100% is wrapped.
And also on the new Tesla Model Y, once you take away this parcel shelf, you can fold it in 3 sections and then store that parcel shelf in here. So this is the trunk area, and exactly what I'm talking about. Once you lift the cover for the under trunk, you can see that I have installed the parcel shelf folded in three pieces and nicely stored just in under trunk. As you can see, on old Model Y, there are no cutouts which were designed for a new Model Y to accommodate this tri-folding parcel shelf. And all this makes a difference when it comes to the sound insulation. Even this lock for the trunk latch on the all new Model Y is wrapped in a soft fabric cloth, unlike on old Model Y. So we are running a dual motor old Model Y, and we have 19 inches winter tires without spikes. The same was on the new Model Y car, what I had for test drive an hour ago. It was a dual motor, and dual motor now offers much premium interior comparing to the single motor cars. Just what I have mentioned already when I brought a picture of a Tesla website. Also, as you can see, this part of the trunk hatch, like the area around the glass, this is just one single panel. What is that? Is it plastic or steel? But this spoiler is part of the entire panel. On a new Model Y, this spoiler section is a separate section. So in case you are unfortunate and you hit some street light and you damage this spoiler part, in a new Model Y you can just order a small section of the spoiler that will be the polycarbonate spare part and replace just the spoiler. So this is now the new Tesla Model Y, and this is the section of the trunk hatch, which is now just a polycarbonate, a separate section of the hatch. And really, in case you hit something, you now have to replace only a small spare part rather than repair or replace a much larger spare part. In this case, you have to order an entire section which goes around the rear glass. And same goes for the plastic section underneath on the bumper. On a new Model Y, it protrudes a couple of inches outside, and it will actually let you worry less about replacing the entire bumper. And this is the all new Tesla Model Y, and this is the new lower section of the bumper, which is like I mentioned, protrudes much more outside, like maybe like 3 inches, and this will be the first part to touch any obstacle in case you miss when you park backwards. Also, I can say that on the back seat there was also an improvement on a new Model Y, unlike in this older Model Y, where you have on the back of the driver and passenger seats just a hard scratchy plastic, and the hard scratchy plastic over here, and the hard scratchy plastic over here on this central console with the ventilation flaps. On the new Model Y, all this and this and this and these parts are now not only wrapped in a fabric, but also they have a sponge underneath, so it's a slight cushioning and extra wrap around.
and that's what I'm talking about. Now this is the back of the driver's seat, and B pillar with a lighter material, which is just a part of the ceiling material, and below that this gray material, same color to the driver's seat, is now like a synthetic leather kind of material with again some lining underneath, and all the way until the floor, until the carpet on the floor, including the section around the rear screen, right around the screen, this part where you have two USB-C port outlets, that all is also now a material, not just a plastic, but wrapped, and which gives you a nice, soft, and really high-end feel to it.
Also, the seat design has changed on a new Model Y. It's perforated, and the pillow is a few centimeters longer.
As you can see now, the middle section on the new Model Y is different from the upper section of the seat, and this is like a perforated fake leather.
But amount of space is equal to this older Model Y. Glass roof has changed. So this glass roof is tinted. However, on the new Model Y, it's not only tinted, but it also has silver deposits evenly distributed in two layers over the entire section of the rear glass.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the picture of all new Tesla Model Y. As you can see, right here is the line which separates, on my opinion, this part, which is the one with two layers of silver deposits, from a tiny section left behind without those two layers of silver infused coating. Most likely Tesla did this part, kept this part without coating, most likely for a cost saving purpose. So Tesla produced more than 1 million cars last year, Tesla Model Y only. And if you save like 5 centimeters of coating on every single car, and that is 1 million cars, you can still save something. And that's not just to take this from the customer and not give them all the feature and complete feature. It's just about to keep the business running and that much profitable, so they can come up again with new products over and over again, and maybe put the money somewhere else. For example, like that active hood safety system, rather than just wasting like millions, if you look from the top, like a company wise, on something that basically unnecessary, a couple of centimeters of extra coating which nobody will benefit from. Okay, we go back to video.
Maybe with small exception of like a couple of inches section right at the back, and that the silver deposits, they allow to block ultraviolet lights and heat penetrating the cabin in a really hot summer days, which means you will feel much more comfortable inside the cabin, even using your air conditioning at lower speeds, at lower temperature setting. Also, I noticed from the video of
This is a questionable section. I think I did notice, I thought I did notice this difference, but when I jumped into the old and then again to new Model Y, it's really difficult to compare, other than if you look on this new Tesla Model Y, you can see that this is the rear end section of the roof, where the rear passengers, they if they're really tall, they maybe touch the ceiling part. But this portion, as you can see, it has like a protruding part, so the line is not straight. But if you take a look on an old Model Y, then you can see that over here behind my back on the picture, this is just one straight line versus the line on a all new Tesla Model Y and old, new and old. And I was thinking that at least one guy on the YouTube,
one other guy on YouTube
made me think that this was something new, and Tesla made a little bit more space for the head, but I don't think that he was right. Alright, going back to my video.
it here on the C pillar, and once unfold, it is just stored away from the seat, moving to the folded position.
Yes, on the picture you can see that on an old Model Y, the seat belts are actually blocking the way of the folding seat, where else on a new Model Y this problem has been thought about, and a very easy decision made. So now on a new Model Y, on the screen now is a new Model Y, the seat belt for the rear passengers is mounted directly onto the C pillar, and that is out of the way of the folding seat. But on old Model Y, as you can see, it lays in such way that when you pull those buttons on the trunk on an old Model Y, it will actually be on the way of the folding seat.
What of course, on the back of the new Model Y, this section is replaced with a 8 inches touchscreen, where you can control the position of passenger seat, move it back and forward. You can control the ventilation flaps, and you still have 2 USB-C in the new Model Y. Also important to say that let's check what is under hood. We go here, open frunk. Alright, this will be a section about a new safety system. So on old Model Y, there is nothing under here, and on a new Tesla Model Y, we have two pyrotechnic actuators positioned right here, designed for a safety system which Tesla calls active hood system. And in case of a front collision, this actuator on this side and same on that side.
This is a nice view of front of new Tesla Model Y, and if you zoom in and look on both sides, you can see the pyrotechnic actuators here and here, and I have explained already in the video what are they doing, but let's hear again.
On the new Tesla Model Y actually activates itself, of course, and then lifts the maybe the front, the rear part of the hood, lifts like that for 80 millimeters, that's around 8 centimeters, allowing actually to much softer landing for whoever is in front of the car, like a vulnerable pedestrian or maybe an animal, and it reduces the head injury and allows, for example, the vulnerable pedestrian land on a much more flexible and softer bonnet rather than directly hitting the hard glass. And also on new Tesla Model Y, there was the one change. They moved uh, so this funnel for filling the window washer liquid on the new Model Y is placed over here.
And that is the picture. As you can see, again, front view, front, and funnel for the window washer is right in front.
And the frunk on the new Model Y has a drain, so you can drain some whatever if you want to store some dirty stuff here.
And this is the frunk on the new Model Y. First of all, the shape is little different, and also you have a drain plug.
You can wash it and drain it easily. And same as old Tesla Model Y, the new Model Y has a HEPA filter, which is the best. I think the best in the auto industry. Nobody has a HEPA filter, but only Tesla have. But only Tesla has it on all of the cars. Of course, new Tesla Model Y has a front bumper camera, which is not available for the older model.
As you can see, I was just looking on the windows, and I can tell you that, as I mentioned in the video before, right after test driving these two Tesla Model Ys, I went to XPeng and I looked inside the dealer shop, XPeng G6, which is a direct competitor, and then XPeng, I think G9, a bigger SUV, and those, even the most expensive one, which is the bigger car, and it costs like maybe around 75-80,000 euro, so it's like more than 50% more than Tesla Model Y, and that car does not have double glasses, does not have the acoustic glass, neither for the driver nor for the rear passengers. But in Tesla, in Tesla Model 3 Highland, even in Tesla Model 3 Highland, you still get this feature and really quiet cabin.
Model Y, the hardware overall is a hardware 4, which means better cameras and better processing power.
Yes, so the hardware 4 is now installed on Tesla Model 3 Highland and Tesla Model Y Juniper. It not only gives you the better processing power, the better cameras, but also gives you better Bluetooth connectivity for your key access via the smartphone. It also enables this automatic trunk opening feature when you stand behind the trunk for a couple of seconds. So the Bluetooth connectivity uses the ultra wideband. It's more precise, it's faster, more reliable, and overall you will feel the improvements.
The design of this section, unlike it was rumored, has not changed, and this was explained by Lars Moravi. And the Tesla decided not to upgrade, not to change the side crash safety parameters for the Model Y.
So as you can see here on old Model Y as well as on the new Model Y, the combing remains the same because the safety was already top of the class, and Tesla Model Y was named by Euro NCAP the safest car ever tested ever in the entire history of Euro NCAP safety car testing laboratory. Tesla Model Y got the highest score among all the consumer passenger cars, whether it was hybrid or electric or diesel or petrol or whatever.
and the structural design, because it was already so good, and since this is the higher off the ground vehicle than the Tesla Model 3, all the data that Tesla has collected for Model Y showed that improvement is not necessary. The side collision safety is so good that it doesn't need to change. But in Tesla Model 3 Highland, they did make a change, and it was an additional, like a catch point, where the door on the lower part for every single door had like a protruding teeth, which was engaged with a hole in here, and that allowed for a door to be catched in 3 points. So at the latch, at the hinge, and the third point was this extra piece. And but for Model Y, none of that is relevant, because it's a higher off the ground vehicle, and the side crash safety is already the best in class. What else can I say? I think that's pretty much wraps everything.
Exactly, that pretty much wraps everything. It was really comprehensive review, comparison with old Model Y, new Model Y. I'm curious about your thoughts. I hope you did receive a value from my video, and if you did, don't be shy, smash likes. This is my new separate dedicated channel to electric cars, and subscribe, share this video with your friends who are in this electric cars topic, and I really hope you liked the video, and I would like to answer on your questions in the comments. Stay tuned for my new videos, and I will see you in the comment section below and in my new videos. Bye.